welcome to episode 6 of our Star Trek Picard mini review series. We're just going to jump into it. For those that are new to my channel, because there has been a recent influx of new subscribers, I'm sort of more of a hardcore Trek nerd, and Adam is playing the part of a normie, but he still likes Star Trek and he knows what I'm talking about, and I make references to shit that upsets me. Okay, with the introductions out of the way. If there's anything up to episode 8, again, we've changed how we were going to review these things because we're so far behind on this.
Yeah,
the pace of this story is so piecemeal. I never feel satisfied with the amount of ground that's covered, and this is a 10-part series. And yet with Deep Space Nine, there was the 10-part series that ended the series, series 7. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember it ended on 10 episodes?
Yeah, wasn't there like 20 episodes though in the season?
Yeah. There was like 25 episodes, but the last 10 was part 1, part 2, part 3, so forth, until you got to Behind, which is the 2-parter. And then DS9 did a 6-parter in season 6, and they even did a 3-parter in season 2, which at the time was just like, what the hell are you doing over there on the DS9?
Yeah.
And so we've already got a Star Trek series that we can compare to in terms of how to plot something with mini stories inside. And these are earlier examples of how to develop a story in a sort of satisfying way and make it progress while making it progress. Again, going into knowing about episode 8, this show is not giving me enough per episode to justify its story.
Not giving you enough anyway.
Right. Whereas DS9 did. Something was always happening because they were tying up loose ends. They knew they were going to finish. And yet at the same time, Terry Matalas is saying, this is a swan song to the next generation. It's like, okay, but you're not giving us enough story to actually say goodbye to these characters. And it's more interested in like filling the episode with Memberberries. And this episode gives you two locations of Memberberries.
This episode is like the Easter egg and Memberberries episode. Couldn't speak then. It's late at night. I can't speak. I thought watching this episode, I was like, you're gonna fucking hate this episode.
You do know me so well.
I was like, especially when they started going through the what's it called, the Daystrom
Institute, Daystrom Station thing, yeah.
Daystrom Station. I thought he's gonna hate this episode. There's like they're walking through the corridors, and I'm like, oh no, look at all these. I'm like, oh, that's good, but I thought he's gonna hate that. He ain't gonna like that, especially when the show's like Kirk's body for some strange reason. I was like, look, there's Kirk's body. He's gonna hate that. But how to get that?
Terry Matalas has said on the Inglorious Treks podcast that he's brought Kirk's body there so that possibly another writer in the future can take advantage of that artifact, so then they can reinsert Kirk into the modern day timeline. Just let him die. Just he's dead.
He's
dead,
not
Jim.
gonna die.
He's dead, Jim. Why do you need to keep recycling old characters? Just let the past be the past. If that doesn't explain the whole theme of this 10 episodes, I don't know what doesn't. Just it's in the past. Just leave it. Stop trying to fix Nemesis. Stop trying to.
Well, you know what? By that same sort of thing, though, you can also say that, well, at least this guy who's doing this series, this season, he seems to he has some knowledge. He seems to be a bit of a fan. So at least there's that little bit of hope there. But it's like, okay, at least you got somebody here who has a little bit of knowledge about the thing that he's actually writing and directing or whatever. There's that. You gotta appreciate that in any small sort of amount of appreciation that you could possibly muster inside yourself.
Have you ever watched the movie White Men Can't Jump?
Yeah, but where are we going with this?
Well, hear me out. You've got the main character played by Woody Harrelson, and who's an amazing basketball player, and he can shoot, he can free throw to save his life. He can do that, and he can hustle, and he's the white guy hustling on the black guys in their turf. Okay. So he's got this outgoing personality where he knows basketball better than black people, right? That is a useful sort of analogy to Terry Matalas, former Terry, because he does know his Trek. But in the movie White Men Can't Jump, Woody Harrelson cannot dunk for shit to save his life. That's why the movie's called White Men Can't Jump. And so when it really matters, if he really wants to impress upon the black people, or Wesley Snipes' character, he can't dunk, and he loses his prize money in that movie. And this is Terry Matalas's equal, where Terry Matalas cannot dunk on the knowledge that he's got with Star Trek. He cannot finish it off. So if you go back to the previous episode where you find out that the changelings circumvented all known detection methods of the things that Starfleet employs to find changelings, you go, yeah, shit, they can create organs and get around blood tests and stuff. But if you pay attention to Deep Space Nine, they already can get around blood tests. Martok, the changeling Martok, did it in Way of the Warrior. They can just hold blood inside their body and then just give it to you inside when they cut the knife or the blood test. They can push the blood into their shoulder, so they can already circumvent it. And they can already create organs. Wait there. They can already create organs because they made Odo into a human with all the organs. Okay, they sound fearsome, but if you watch Star Trek, they already can do that. So what was the whole point of the Project Proteus thing that they mentioned?
Well, I didn't know that.
Right, exactly.
The audience, right?
Exactly. So if Wesley Snipes didn't pay attention to the way Woody Harrelson is playing basketball, he wouldn't have said, "Why don't you have a dunk?" Because he doesn't need to, because he's such a great three thrower. He never misses. But in the moment he can't dunk, and that's the point.
We don't know if Terry Matalas can finish this off yet. We don't know if he can dunk this yet. Okay, dude, so we've got 2 more episodes. Maybe he can. Maybe it will be a slam dunk.
I don't know what the ending could be that would save and resurrect the previous 8 episodes, honestly. Think about Moriarty. They anyway, they go into the Daystrom station. They find killer tribbles, dead bodies, and then there's Professor Moriarty there. And we're like, holy shit, this is it now. They have to fight the AI probably, which is Moriarty, who defends the station because he's a sentient life form. And he's not. He's just a memory of Moriarty. It's like, but you put this in the fucking trailer. I thought we were gonna have like a bang on episode with Moriarty. No, you just got to fucking whistle. Pop goes the weasel. He's gone.
Yeah, I did think he was going to come back. So I was very disappointed that he wasn't fully back in this. To be honest with you, I thought they used his AI as a security system, where it turns out it was just Data's memories. And it's really strange, actually. I mean, Data's back in now. He's back in the episode, and it's a very strange decision to have Data, but then you've got Lore, but then the same body, and they got the partition. And it's like, why would they do that? And then why would they make it the security system for this black site? It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, everything hinges on a demented android.
Yeah, and like that guy, that gangster or whatever, he just made a chip to get around that security system like straight away. So it's not that fucking good, is it? So
you're finding the plot holes. You're finding the plot holes.
Well, I did think that. I did think straight away when it wasn't Moriarty. Okay, it's Data, and then they said, "Oh, there's Laura in there as well, and Data," and I'm like, "All right, but why? Why would the guy? Why would he do that? Why?"
So let me defend this episode a little bit, okay? I can understand Arik, the guy who died, the other Soong, the son of Soong, the Dr. Soong. I can understand his philosophy where if you combine all the androids together, then maybe you could finally crack the sentience thing that they're trying to get all through TNG. But Data was in essence perfect as being able to live the human experience by the time of Nemesis anyway. So all you're doing is just trying to capture and fix Nemesis and fix the Data's death by creating this. So it's not really Data. It's like a hybrid of Data, and B4 is in there as well. So it's an amalgamation of all these things. So I can understand that philosophy if you're trying to recapture that technology. I get that. So that was my defense. That's it. Yeah. It's not a big defense.
Yeah.
Philosophically, I could understand it, but in implementation, it's like, why would Section 31 put everything inside a demented android to look after their black site that a Vulcan gangster had a key code for that could easily circumvent everything anyway? And you just need to whistle to get rid of the holographic bullet shooting Moriarty. Oh, wonderful.
Why is there no personnel on that place as well? There's nobody there.
Wow,
nobody
you really
manning this thing.
You really are like going for it. Okay, I don't know. Maybe it's
fucking empty. Why was nobody there?
Maybe it was the night shift. I don't know.
You could have like at least a couple of people there, like they just rotate now and then. If they didn't want too many personnel there, it just didn't make any sense to me.
No, I do agree. I do agree. I can't justify that.
Yeah.
Killer tribbles as well. Like, why would you do that?
It's just again, it's just the Easter egg episode. It's just like, oh look, remember those? Remember this? Remember this? And then they had Picard's corpse was there as well. And I guess it's gonna come into play. I don't know. They want Picard's corpse and then Jack, and then I don't know what's happening. It's just like, where's this going? Where's this plot going?
Right. So that was Daystream Station, which I thought was fascinating. Have you noticed as well? I was going to save this for next episode, but I'll do it now. With regard to Data, do you not think aesthetically they made a mistake here? And he's in essence like, if you were going to make a brand new android, would you not want it to look sort of like in peak optimal condition, like to be like, holy shit, this is the thing to be reckoned with? Instead, you make this android an old man. It makes it look like an old man with a beer belly.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard, isn't it? You sort of like ignore it a little bit. You're like, oh, it's age, but then it's like it's an android, and it's just like, what do you do with that? You know?
Well, you could get rid of Raffi, because Worf's storyline could have just been Worf doing it from the beginning.
It could have just been Worf. It could have been Worf. And you know what? Worf's been really good as well. Worf's been really good.
Well, we'll talk about that later. Or you could easily fold whatever Worf and Raffi did into one line spoken by Ro when she meets Picard, and you can just say they stole something else. You didn't need all of that, and then at the end of the episode 5, you then get introduced to Worf, because they left Geordi until episode 6. This is his first episode, so you could leave Worf till episode. You didn't need to bring him in from episode 2 or 3, whatever it was. So you could have saved all that money. You could have saved all that money, and then you could have deep-faked Data. You could have deep-faked Brent Spiner into a younger version of Data, because he doesn't age. He does age, but he doesn't have to age. So I don't understand why you have to make it an old android with these abilities.
Yeah.
And then you find out in the next episode, he can like creak his neck, and it's like, what the fuck is this android? Why would you? I mean, look at David from Prometheus, like pinnacle of android design, and he's a young man, and he's going to stay like that forever. Why wouldn't you do that again? Where is the design philosophy from Section 31? I know, let's make it look like an old version of the previous life form that we only had two of, but one was deranged. You could have just and just have Brent Spiner do the voice work. That would have been amazing.
Oh well.
And you can find YouTubers who have deepfaked Picard season 1 with the younger version of Data. Did you know that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So YouTubers are already doing it. So I don't understand the cost involved to not want to do it and have a young Data walking around. And then if you wanted to create a new series, then you just swap the actor out for somebody else. You could set that up, but now he's just going to age with the rest of them. It's so weird.
Was it the introduction of Geordi in this one? Or was it in the last one?
Yeah, because they go to the Space Museum, and this is the second fucking hive of Memberberries.
Yeah. What did you think of that? Because obviously you get a shot of all the ships, the submarine ships and stuff like that. So again, I looked at it and was like, oh, that's cool. I thought, oh, you're going to hate this because you hate all things that are positively nice.
It's okay. Yes, it is nice, and you are fucking jizzing out little nods to everything, but with all those nods, it just creates all these plot holes. And Terry Matalas unblocked me on Twitter, and I made
you.
Unblocked me. He did block me, but he unblocked
me. Why did he block you?
Because I said something about Picard season 2 to him, and but because he blocks so many people that his timeline, when he goes into like a Star Trek thread, he's just going to see block. So he has to unblock to see what the person says. And so I clearly said something of value that he unblocks me, and I'm still unblocked. And he even replied to me, and he said, that is a great idea. We just didn't have the budget. And what I said was, why didn't they just take the Defiant? Here's the problem. They need a cloak. Fine. And they took it.
It wasn't the right Defiant, was it?
No, wait. Hear me out.
Version of
Yeah. I know. You don't need to tell me, son. So they go after the bounty and they steal the cloak from the bounty. One, why would it still be in there? Why didn't the Klingons take it? Because the Federation are not allowed cloaking devices. Okay, but on top of that, they've got Klingon ships there anyway, and they've got Romulan ships there at this space museum for some reason. And the Romulans are like, okay, but the Romulan Star Empire fell in season 1, so maybe they found it. I don't know. So we can all leave it ambiguous, right? Now, the second iteration of the Defiant there, which used to be the Sao Paulo. Now, in the TV show Deep Space Nine, they never actually said it got a cloak, but they also never said it didn't get a cloak. So you can go either way with this. But in the relaunch novels, they say that it was given a cloak because the Romulans still wanted to know what the Dominion were doing post-war after the season 7, right? Now, as far as I'm concerned, the way this show is written, if the plot demands it, then it happens. So there's nothing stopping this show from saying the Defiant's got a cloak. Let's all jump on board the Defiant. Now, you could be saying, well, why jump on board the Defiant? Well, as the show said in the same episode, they can still track the Titan because it's linked with chips or something to the Federation network, so they can still find the Defiant. That's why they need the cloak. But the older ships are not upgraded with those chips. So if you just jump on the Defiant, then you've got a tiny ship that is now got a modern cloaking device on it because the Bounties is over 100 years old. And modern starships in the TNG have proven that they can detect old ships. The Voyager detected a cloaked Romulan Klingon D7 in the Voyager series. So they can do this. So you could just jump on the Defiant. They've got a small crew anyway. And then Terry Matalas said, yeah, that is a really good idea. We just didn't have the budget for that. We could have done that.
He probably meant, like the budget, meaning like the interior of the Defiant, stuff like that. You've got to do all that, haven't you? So I've noticed they've kept the sets pretty much inside the Titan, the bar, So it's a budgetary sort of thing. So
right.
Yeah.
So it breaks that believability of, well, if you wanted to really get away from the Federation, you could have just swapped ships. You could have done a Fast and the Furious where they start a movie with one group of cars, and then they end the movie with another group of cars. You know, just because.
But then looking at it from that sort of logistics point of view, you've got to then transfer the entire crew over to that.
But there aren't many because they fucked them all off onto the Intrepid, didn't they?
They fucked off some of them, didn't they? They've still got quite a bit of crew on there, haven't they?
No, Rose said, "Oh, we're giving you a skeleton crew," which, by the way, doesn't make any sense. If the changelings are on board the Intrepid, why did you put the fucking crew on the Intrepid? Whatever the plot wants, that's my point. That you should have just taken the Defiant. And then when they use the cloak, they don't cloak, and then go into warp. They go to warp, and then they land at the black site. They're not cloaked, and then they cloak, and it's like, did you not watch? Again, he's not dunking. They can beam people up while cloaked. It's so strange.
And then I don't know.
So the Federation sensors would have found that Titan uncloaked, and then they would have said, "Oh right, shit, it's cloaked now. So we've got to find it with a 100-year-old cloaking device attached to it." It just throws up all these plot holes, and it's like, why didn't you just do it that way? And then, right, Dave Blass, who's like a production designer, he argued with loads of people that the Titan is a refit, and everyone's like, it's not a refit, it's just a brand new ship. You can't swap ship classes in a refit. And he shows all these behind the scenes production notes about the old Titan that you see on lower decks, which was from the novels. It's a lunar class, and now it becomes a Neo-Constitution class. And they're basically just taken the materials off and then put it on the new ship. And it's like, dude, it's not a refit. It's just a brand new ship that you've decided to call the Titan when you could have just used the Titan. And this show, later, and I'll explain later on in episode 8, you should have just used the Titan and just had Captain Shaw still, but he's the second captain of the Titan because it's Riker's old command. But if Starfleet, basically they're saying that because of the Mars attack in season 1, the Federation are short on ships. It's like, okay, so why is Voyager and the Defiant sitting there? They're serviceable ships. They're only like 30 years old. They're perfectly fine. So why are they in the museum? You said you're short of ships. This fucking show, man. Get the logic
a lot
right.
of nerd talk to me there. There's a lot of nerd talk coming out. I was like, I don't know.
I know.
Saying to me right now.
I know you're tuning out, but I hope the people who are watching are just like, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Well, of course, yeah, of
I
course
don't
they
care.
will be like,
I
yeah,
don't care
good,
because
makes sense.
there's Memberberries. I love the show because of the music. When the music comes on, it evokes the tragedy of the journey of the Voyager, and the DS9 music because the fucking DS9 is on screen. Fuck off.
Yeah,
Anyway, go on.
it does. It feels really good. It did.
And you know the fucking Enterprise D is inside that space dock. You fucking know it. There's a Galaxy class starship sitting inside that space dock, and that's going to ejaculate out at the end of episode fucking 10. And you know it because fucking Geordie's daughter says we should use that ship, and he's like, no, they haven't finished it yet. You know the D is inside.
They're going to release the D.
Don't you think it's the only ship that's left, unless it's the fucking Enterprise E? It's either the E or the D, but they've made mentions of the D so many times in this series.
Yeah, why couldn't they have used half those ships that are on there? I did think that. I thought, wow, they're just museum pieces now. It's a bit strange. It's a bit of a strange concept anyway. Does that like get like tourists and stuff? I just don't understand.
Well, actually, that bit is fine. It could be a tourist museum. That bit's fine for me. I mean, you've got the HMS Trafalgar still in Portsmouth, and that's like 200 and something years old. And you've got American military ships that are in dry dock or whatever, still on show. Okay, fine. And people go there, fine.
Yeah.
But those ships are still fucking brand new. The original Enterprise was 25 years old when Captain Kirk jumped on. You know that?
Yeah, but if Voyager popped out of nowhere, you'd be pissed off about that as well.
No, I wouldn't. Well, yeah, I would. Like, but then they're like, oh yeah, okay, the Voyager's got a cloaking device. Okay, fine. Fine, whatever. But the fact that the show refuses now to take advantage of the Memberberries, but ever since before this episode, it just enjoyed the Memberberries. Like over in a nebula, the same nebula that spawns life forms from the first fucking episode of TNG. Oh, what a coincidence! It's just, whatever the plot demands.
There's probably a lot of things that he wanted to do, but obviously couldn't. And I guess he was dealing with, like, I could say a budget, so he couldn't do things. So there probably was a lot of things that he could have done. Like I say, we'll see what happens, like the budgets and stuff like that. I'll see how this ends as well. I don't know where they're going with this Red Door shit. I'm sort of worried about it all. And
did you notice that Vadik killed one of her own changelings?
Yeah, this is when I just, because I know they don't, it's in their law, they don't kill each other. It's a very serious thing, they don't kill each other. But then this is where I was like, are they changelings or are they just like normal crew members? Like, it wasn't really clear at that point. But now that he's made it clear that they are changelings, it sort of makes it like, well, why is she just offing people just without a second thought? It's just like one of those villain tropes where it's like, just shoot one of your sort of underlings,
which happened in Star Trek 3.
Yeah, it did. The same sort of similar scene on the deck, wasn't it? Yeah.
Krug, I think Captain Krug killed his officer because he destroyed the Enterprise, destroyed the Oberth, the science ship by accident. But he just raised his hand and he was like, well, he's like vaporized. The other one kills him. But if they're all changelings are not supposed to harm each other.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're not supposed to kill each other, so.
Right, and you don't know at that point that a lot of them are from the black site. They were captured, so they were together as a group. So they should be like fucking tight. So again, he's not dunking. He's not doing the dunk. That's what I don't get about Terry Matalas' writing.
I have no defense for that.
Okay,
I mean, I thought it was strange anyway.
I mean, I'm just raising the point. As long as you know, and it looks like you do, right?
Yeah, well, Vadik's a strange character anyway now. It's become like a bit of a cartoon in terms of a villain now. So, but I suppose I don't know. There's nowhere else for her to go now. It's like she's hit every sort of antagonist trope you can sort of hit. I'm hoping the real villain reveals itself. I really hope the real villain doesn't turn out to be like, it's Jack's alter ego or something, or some bullshit like that. Which I hope that isn't the case, because that'll just really be annoying. And we've already had that. We've already had it. I mean, unless that's like an allusion to like Jack, that being a plot device for him, with Data and Law. And then Jack's like, I've also got an evil counterpart that's me, that wants my. I fucking swear to God, if there's another evil version of him that wants a body, and that's why they've got Picard's corpse or something, well, that's why they desperately want Jack, because then this thing could enter Jack fully or take over Jack fully. Then I'm going to be really annoyed and disappointed.
Major Grin has a video. I watched it just before we came on to review episode 5, and he's putting it together, and basically it looks like with all the references, and even Robert Meyer Burnett was saying once you know the ending, you can go back to the beginning and find all the little references. So I've paid attention to these things, and there are references to the Borg over and over and over again. And they reckon that the changelings are going to bring back Locutus. This is the swan song for the TNG crew. Jack is either a power wraith, or he's going to be used as some kind of Borg insertion, like Borg sleeper agent somehow.
Okay.
You have to watch his video.
Nothing. I don't know how I feel about that, because then it's like I say, it's a big sort of reveal, but then it's like you've only got 2 episodes left. How's that going to play out then? I mean, if you had another season, it'd be like, okay, well, you can work with that and then build into another season. But if you only got 2 episodes left, you've got this such a big plot point. What can you do then, apart from have like a little mini battle at the end, and then it just gets resolved, and then happy ever after sort of thing. It's a bit, I don't know. It's a very, you haven't got a lot of time to work with in terms of a big threat like that, and it's like, well, what?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll have to wait.
I'd like to see something. I mean, it's an interesting thing. I'd like to see something new, if you know what I mean. I know it's like, well, that's be interesting, but I'd like to see something new and organic come from, original, instead of going, okay, we're going to bring back Locutus.
I think you're asking for
a Borg sort of situation. I don't know. That would be a bit disappointing. I don't know. But then again, I didn't have high hopes for the season anyway, but it's been all right so far, and I'm just sort of worried about the landing. So you pull your face at this, but we've been watching it, we've been reviewing it, okay? And it's been all right. It hasn't been perfect, and it has had its fucking moments. All right, but it's been all right, and it's kept me wanting to see the next episode. I'm like, okay. Whereas with season 2, I wanted to literally hang myself because I had to force myself to watch that goddamn thing. And I'd like skip and fast forward through most of it, especially through Picard's traumas and stuff like that. This was terrible. But this has actually been all right, it's been watchable at the very least. And the characters and the actors and the dynamics and the chemistry has all been there. It's been all right. So it's a win in my book, all right?
Let me just say this part, and then we'll wrap up early on this episode review. A lot of the acting has saved the story because the actors know their characters, and you can see that in episode 8 when Riker and Deanna get back together, that they know each other so well. I think
Riker's been the best. He's been the standout, I think.
Yeah, I can agree. But when you say the story's been all right, I just can't even agree with that. I'm just watching it just to complete it. Nothing is driving me forward on this.
I think the first 4 episodes as a standalone thing, I think they're pretty good. You had like Picard gets his son. It's been like a thing to get his son back. I think those 4 as a self-contained thing, as a mini sort of thing, they're pretty solid. After that,
it's pretty tight, yeah.
But after that, though, it's sort of like it's going into territories now where it's like, okay, we're getting a little bit risky now with what we're doing, what's going on, and it's following those same trends from previous seasons where it's like we're going into sort of wild areas where you're like you don't want to go. You go to the plots and stuff like that, where it's like there's always a super weapon. There's always like evil Federation, even though it's not technically evil Federation, but it kind of is because they were doing experiments, their black site and stuff, and I'm so fed up with like evil Federation subplots. And it's just like, can we just do something a little bit new, like a new enemy, a new species that you've come across in another galaxy, just something,
Isn't that what the bird people are? The bird changing people, a new species for some reason that just stay in that solid form.
No, because it's bullshit. Because it's just like, oh,
you were saying it's bullshit.
well, it is, isn't it? Because you're just like, I didn't know at the start that they were bloody changelings. I just thought they were just henchmen, and then all of a sudden, oh no, they're changelings. It's like, all right then, okay. And then Vadic's working for some sort of other entity that you don't really know, but the only way to contact it is by chopping off appendage and then it forms. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know. There are certain things where it does sort of, to me, when I look at it and overanalyze it, go, oh, that doesn't make any sense. And like I say,
that's the thing. If you start analyzing it, you're just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
If you just want to say, go on. Sorry.
I just want an original enemy. Like, say, even if if they brought in a new species or a new race of aliens from another area of the galaxy, or just do that, and then you're working with something new. Then, and then hardcore Trek fans can't they can still nitpick, but they can't be like, oh, you're not doing anything new now. It's like you are doing something new. You're taking something, you're bringing in something new, and going, oh, look at this, and a new sort of enemy type, a new alien race has come along, and they've stumbled upon our universe or whatever.
Yeah, you can't nitpick them.
And then you can't really overanalyze stuff then, because it's new. It's something that's different, and then it's something that the original crew and cast have got to sort of tackle, and then it creates new dynamics. It creates new stories and new things to go down. And it's like, okay, cool, that's good, that's different. But this is just like, it's a series of Easter eggs, Memberberries, and it's just like, oh look, it could be the Borg again, and it's like, oh, yeah, it's the Borg again. I'm like, like when the Borg were first introduced, do you remember that? Do you remember how cool that was? It was like, what the hell are those things? Why is there square ships? That was cool. It was like, that's something like that you've not seen before, right? Okay, go ahead. What the fuck?
They weren't square.
They were cubes. They were cubes or whatever. You get what I mean, don't you?
Yeah, I know. The first 4 episodes, yes, are tighter, and it does feel like a movie. It feels like Star Trek 2 across 4 episodes. So, okay, the next 4 are just, it's like you cut your arm off and the blood's flowing everywhere. It's just like, wow, where is it going?
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. If you had to rate, we've got 3 minutes left. If you had to rate which Nutrek series was the best, what would you choose? And before you answer, I'll give you my answer. Because normally I ask you the question and I let you answer first. But I think if I had to pick, if I had to survive on a desert island at gunpoint, and they said, right, you can bring one Nutrek series with you to watch forever, and that's your only source of entertainment, if you had to, and you can't not choose one, you've got to choose one under threat of death. Okay? Besides obviously opting to kill myself, I would choose Strange New Worlds Season 1. That is the best series of Nutrek, but it's still garbage. It's the best of the garbage.
I've not watched it yet, but I've not watched that yet, but I need to watch it.
There you go. So that's high praise. You should walk into that series. Well, Jonathan wouldn't die in a desert island. He would take that with him. I'm going to watch that now with a bit more enthusiasm.
I'm going to watch that. I am going to watch it.
Season 2 starts in July, dude. I don't expect you to review it with me. Yeah. But if you want to binge watch it, then get on board with reviewing Season 2. Maybe we could do it. But I'm asking
Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Hey, I've been present, all right. I've been here.
Okay.
This has been our biggest break for a while because I was away and I've been working. But it's been consistent, I think.
It's okay. I almost did episode 5 and 6 without you.
I know.
Rant to myself, to the internet.
Just rant to yourself. I said you can rant to me.
Right. Instead, I could have just done this.
Yeah, you could have just talked to that tree that you've got in your room. That's a big ass plant.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a trim because some of it.
I think you need to give it a trim. It's starting to take over your room.
And there's these ones here, off camera.
Yeah.
Okay, let's wrap this up and then get into the last review of. We're gonna combine episodes 7 and 8 together. Okay.